distinguished guests, friends from the industry and the academia, ladies and gentlemen, it's my real pleasure to address this important gathering. And I was really happy that Minister Dotre honored us to be here to underline the importance of 5G and overall ICT sector in the future development of India. I have been here for years, and I have been observing with high interest how the Indian government declared and launched a Digital India flagship project, how much has been already achieved, and how the government is determined to go ahead with developing India as a digital hub, as a provider of new technologies and provider of services based on ICT development. And I wish the government of India all the best. And from this point of view, I would like to underline that the European Union is a very reliable partner for India in this endeavor. Allow me to congratulate the organizers for holding this timely event and enabling quality exchanges among so many eminent speakers related to the 5G technology. 5G is expected to transform the nature of technological advancement with participation of stakeholders from across sectors. Such events enable a platform for sharing of knowledge and best practices. The event outcomes could further facilitate the government in making comprehensive policy decisions. But allow me to say a few words about EU-India cooperation in this context in a bit, and to present a bit broader picture. India is one of the most important partners for the European Union when it comes to trade and investments in recent years. We have seen our partnership expand into fields such as ICT, environment, energy, water, sustainable urbanization, just to mention a few. The EU is India's largest trading partner in goods and services combined. Our bilateral trade in goods and services has gone up and is now around $140 billion US, and our trade is balanced. It means that our economies are really complementary. We don't have problems with unbalanced trade in goods and services. Over 6,000 European companies have invested heavily in India with more than $90 billion US, and European companies provide directly or indirectly almost 7 million jobs in the country. Out of this, the ICT companies of European Union origin have together created well over 100,000 quality jobs. The cooperation between EU and India on ICT has progressed very well over the years. Our engagement on international topics such as net neutrality, internet governance, data protection and privacy are few examples that showcases our common interest. To reaffirm its confidence on further strengthening the cooperation, the EU in last November adopted the new strategy on our relations with India. And this is a very ambitious plan based on what we have achieved so far, and among other things, cooperation on Internet of Things, intelligent transport system, future networks, telecom security, 5G, including alignment with international standards, are essential elements of such cooperation. In this context, standardization is one of the key elements of our cooperation on ICT with India. I'm happy to share that the EU has been supporting a project to promote closer alignment between India and the EU on production and use of IC standards. Since its inception in 2015, the collaboration between the Indian and European telecom standard bodies, TSDSI and ETSI, on emerging global ICT standards for machine-to-machine communication, future networks, and 5G have facilitated the recognition of India-specific requirements at international standards fora. The project has also promoted capacity building by inviting young, talented students to develop innovative ideas using open standards through tutorials and hackathons. I'm pleased to share that till to date, the project has organized 9 tutorials and 3 hackathons across the country. And we are going to continue engaging young Indian talents in such cooperation. Another important issue is data protection. It's an important element of EU-India cooperation. I congratulate the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology on the progress made on the data protection legislation. With such a law in place, India would be joining the growing trend of global convergence towards a modern data protection law and take a leadership role in the region and globally at a time when the need to address challenges to data privacy and security requires a common approach. The adoption of strong data protection law could also pave the way for EU-India adequacy discussions and in any event further facilitate data flows. Ladies and gentlemen, and now a few words about 5G. Let me give you an overview on activities in the EU on adoption of 5G, which might be beneficial in some of your discussions later today and tomorrow. The European Union has been highly committed to the success of 5G in Europe. We have developed a comprehensive policy package since 2012 to support the emergence of a strong European 5G supply side and its rapid development. We started planning 5G research activities under our RTD project Horizon 2020 to encourage a European or Europe-wide industrial momentum and launch the 5G public-private partnership in 2013, which has massively supported industrial leadership, notably through contributions to standardization and technology validation. An important milestone for the EU was the launch of 5G Action Plan in 2016. The 5G Action Plan called for European stakeholders and member states to join forces to make 5G a success in Europe by launching 5G services in at least one city per member state by 2020 and to enable a comprehensive deployment by 2025. The European Commission launched the European 5G Observatory in June last year to monitor the progress of 5G readiness and preparatory action in Europe and also globally. The observatory is accessible to everyone online. When it comes to 5G trials, we currently have around 150 trials in over 20 member states, and tens of European cities are implementing extensive 5G trials. In the context of 5G, it has been already mentioned, security is one of our challenges. With emerging technologies, the challenges to security are also increasing. We cannot overlook these challenges, and there is a need for collaboration efforts to address them. The EU is open to collaborate with its partners. It's evident from our various initiatives taken here, which includes organizing visits and workshops, inviting experts from the EU and from India, just to name a few. In March this year, the European Union announced its recommendations on a set of concrete actions to assess cybersecurity risks of 5G networks and to strengthen preventive measures. Recently, 24 member states submitted their national cybersecurity risk assessments. By the end of this year, we intend to finalize the mitigating measures to address these risks. In June this year, the Cybersecurity Act came into force in the EU. The Act establishes an EU framework for cybersecurity certifications to ensure a common cybersecurity certification approach in the European internal market and ultimately improve cybersecurity in a broad range of digital products and services. The Act also complements the EU Directive on Security of Network and Information System. We are happy to further engage with India to share our knowledge and best practices on these topics. That's why allow me to be very, very open and sincere and refer to introductory remarks by the host. I have mentioned only a few examples and sectors where the EU-India cooperation has been already well established. Such cooperation is very well developed in the field of standard and standardization, cybersecurity, security issues, 5G, and so on and so on. And in many such fields, we have launched practical projects to cooperate. And I'm really happy that very soon we will have a joint working group between India and the European Union to discuss how we can deepen our cooperation further. That's why I was very much surprised that the US was mentioned and the UK was mentioned, but not the European Union, as at this stage one of the key partners for India, which is recognized by the Indian government, by the European Union in the field of ICT. And I would like to reconfirm once again that we are absolutely determined to continue such cooperation and to deepen it in all possible fields, which, by the way, was reconfirmed as well at the high political level when a few months ago, Vice President of the European Commission, Mr. Ansip, was here in New Delhi, and he had a high-level meetings with the Indian ministers representing ICT sector, and they came into the same conclusion. That's why I'm optimistic about the future. We are ready and we are interested to continue our cooperation in India in such sectors. And in addition to that, I'm so pleased that so many European origin companies are so heavily present here and are very active in cooperation with Indian partners to develop ICT sector. European Union and India are huge markets. They are very well advanced in technology developing and service providing. That's why allow me to wish you fruitful discussions with positive conclusions which will be taken into account by decision makers both in India and within the European Union. Thank you very much for your attention.